Hi, my name is Janet Checker, and I'm here to welcome you to my studio. My studio is in my home in Galena. It's in an 1843 Greek Revival home, and my studio itself is in what would have been the old servants' quarters. I've had cupboards built by a local craftsman, and it really helps give me a little more space, although as any artist would tell you, never enough space. This is my tabard, and I keep things. These are my paints, and I have them divided up into the three primaries: the red with purple, the yellow with orange, the blue with green, and then all my earth tones are separate. Right below that, I keep my pastels. The hard pastels and the softer pastels are here also. I work from two separate easels. And this is where I keep all my brushes. And this is my palette. My palette is a plastic box with brown paper and then glass over it. And I really recommend doing that. The glass is much easier to clean than the wooden palettes or even the plastic ones. And I put brown paper under there because white is a little too distracting and it distorts the colors. This is some of my sketchbooks. I never throw them out because I reuse them for getting ideas. So I have quite a few sketchbooks. These are more of my paintings. And this is my second easel. This I'm pretty proud of. This is my granddaughter. She's 17 years old, and I've got her when she's 10 years old, when she's about 2.5, and then as a baby. It's really been a fun project to work on, but what I especially want you to see are my Women of the Americas. I've completed 21 different paintings of women from Alaska all the way down through the United States, Mexico, Central America, and South America. These are, I'll explain, this is Mexico. She's from around the Veracruz area, and her dress is similar to what the folklore dance troupe uses. This is a Mayan lady, and behind it is a mural that was found in Bonampak. Up here is the lady from Peru. Now, I've researched all of these as far as the clothing. I find clothing very interesting. Now, this one is one that'll be in the show. This is my Athabascan Lady. She has her typical winter clothing on. And one thing I did add to it, my husband and I found these Athabascan gloves at an antique store. We fell in love with them, purchased them, and I included them in the painting. Now, this is one of my favorite paintings. This is the lady from Panama. And I put on here, show you how I work. This is the basic figure. When I did her, I wanted to make sure everything was proportionately correct. So I drew her there. After that, I did one with her in the garment. And then that is what you see here. And everything is exactly as what they had used in Panama. This young lady is from Brazil, from northern Brazil, Bahia to be exact. And she's dressed for a specific program or holiday where they throw beads and flowers into the ocean in the hopes of having a good fishing season. The Bahia women are noted for their fancy turbans that they wear. Now this is another one that is very special. This is the United States. And I wanted something different. We're such a diverse country. I wanted something that people could relate to. So I put in a 1940 woman farm lady. Now this was time of war, and women were really needed to maintain life at home. So that's why I have her. And this is how I start my paintings. I do the painting on a grid, everything that I want, and then I transfer it, first the grid, and then her, and then I have the completed sketch and I can paint from there. This lady's kind of fun. She's from Cuba, and they love to get dressed up. They like the bright colors. There's a lot of spontaneity with them. Now, behind her, over here, is a Mayan lady from the Yucatan Peninsula, and their clothing was all cotton and very finely woven with embroidery on it. The piece in the back is El Castillo, that is in Chichicastenango. Now this is a painting I did from one of Curtis's photographs. She's a maiden Hopi Indian. I redid her here, and she's a maiden, you know, because of the way her hair is styled. It's squash blossoms. The women have their hair very long, and then at this time they get a twig or something and make it circular, and their hair is wrapped around it. The Hopis are found in a small tract of land right within the Navajo reservation. I was down at the Navajo reservation several years ago, and I had the opportunity to teach an art class. And it was really very exciting. One of the questions I asked the students, I said, how many of you have family that are artists? And every one of them raised their hand. So I thought that was kind of neat. Now this is a friend of mine who happens to be a full-blooded Oneida Indian. And this is a typical clothing that they would wear as their special garment. This is Hawaii. And on her you can't see it too well, but she has many tattoos, which was very popular before the missionaries came. Now she's a very special painting or woman. She's from Bolivia, and what attracted me to her is the bowler. I've always wondered why the women there wear bowler hats. Well, I did the research and find out how. And the reason is, in the 1850s, when England was there building the railroads, they had a lot of English men there, workers, and the office manager ordered a case or two of bowler hats. But when they arrived, they were all size small. So the same gentleman, using his gift of imagination, I guess you could say, convinced the ladies that the bowler hat was actually a fashion statement. And these hats can cost as much as 1 month's salary for them. They have the bowler hats. This one is very simple. But then for holidays, they'll put beads on them, ribbons, dress them up tremendously. But it's a very important part of their clothing. This is Arapaho. Arapahos are Plains Indians, and the petroglyphs around her are what you would find on the various petroglyphs on the various rocks that you may find around there. Now, this is my favorite, next to the Panamanian Lady. And you can see here, I do a sketch first, and then I go and draw her. Now, she is a gaucho, and the gauchos are found in Uruguay, southern Brazil, and Argentina. I've always been kind of fascinated with the gauchos, the idea of riding the pampas, freedom, just doing what you want when you want. And then I found out gaucho actually meant a very gruff person with bad manners. Kind of bothered me for a while, but it's okay. They're still gauchos. Now, I want to thank you for stopping by, and I hope I see you at the show at the museum. And if you have any questions or you want to contact me, you can contact me through the museum. Thank you for looking at my paintings, and I hope I see you at the opening.